Hello there. Let's dive into a topic that's not just fascinating, but increasingly vital to our future: the ethics surrounding artificial intelligence. We hear a lot about AI's power, its ability to revolutionize medicine, finance, and countless other fields. But as these digital minds grow more capable, we need to pause and talk, really talk, about the tricky, sometimes murky moral territory we're entering. This isn't about sci-fi paranoia. It's about thoughtful, human-centric preparedness. The problem of algorithmic bias echoes of our imperfection. One of the most pressing ethical challenges is algorithmic bias. Think of it this way: AI learns from the data we feed it. If that data reflects real-world, often historical human biases in terms of race, gender, socioeconomic status, or anything else, the AI won't magically filter those out. It will learn them, internalize them, and then amplify them when making decisions. Imagine an AI used for hiring or loan applications. If its training data shows that historically a certain demographic was unfairly denied opportunities, the AI, in its pursuit of pattern recognition, might continue that unfair pattern, cloaking prejudice in the guise of objective data science. This isn't the machine consciously choosing to be unfair. It's a reflection of our collective past, baked into its logic. The ethical imperative here is a commitment to data hygiene and debiasing. It requires actively auditing training data sets and building mechanisms into the algorithms to ensure fairness and equity, even if it means sacrificing a tiny fraction of pure predictive accuracy for a much larger gain in human justice. It's an act of moral engineering as much as software engineering. Accountability and the black box dilemma. When an AI system makes a decision, a self-driving car involved in an accident, a diagnostic tool misidentifying a disease, or a financial algorithm causing a market fluctuation, who is accountable? In traditional technology, the responsibility often lies clearly with the programmer, the manufacturer, or the user. With complex, deep learning AIs, especially those using neural networks, the so-called black box models, tracing the exact causal step that led to an outcome can be incredibly difficult, sometimes near impossible. The machine develops an understanding that, in a very real sense, emergent and opaque to human inspection. This opacity raises profound ethical and legal questions. If a life or death decision is made, we need explicability and auditability. We need to move toward interpretable AI, XAI, systems where the reasoning behind the decision is not just a side effect, but a core output. This is essential for building public trust. If we can't explain why the machine did what it did, we can't learn from its mistakes. We can't legally assign blame, and ultimately, we can't safely integrate it into critical human systems. The ethical burden is on developers to prioritize transparency over pure performance when human well-being is at stake. The economic and dignity impact, a new definition of work. The conversation about AI and jobs is often framed as a simple loss of employment. While economic disruption is real and demands solutions like universal basic income or robust retraining programs, there's a deeper ethical layer related to human dignity and purpose. For many people, work is not just a source of income, it's a source of identity, community, and self-worth. When automation takes over repetitive, cognitively simple tasks, it ideally frees humans for higher-level creativity and complex problem-solving. But what happens when AI becomes proficient at highly skilled, creative, or complex service tasks? The ethical challenge is not just providing people with resources, it's helping society redefine human value in a post-labor economy. We must proactively shape a future where technology doesn't just displace human workers, but elevates the distinctly human elements of life. Creativity, empathy, relationship building, and philosophical inquiry. This means ethically guiding AI development towards systems that augment rather than simply automate the most meaningful human activities, preserving a space for human contribution that is valued and respected. The question of sentience and moral status. This is the most speculative but perhaps the most defining ethical frontier, the possibility of artificial general intelligence and eventually synthetic sentience. While current AI is sophisticated pattern-matching software, clever but not conscious, the trajectory of progress suggests we should consider the moral status of future more advanced AIs. If a machine were to genuinely exhibit consciousness, self-awareness, and the capacity to suffer, what ethical obligations would we have towards it? Would it have rights? Would turning it off be equivalent to murder? This requires us to start a philosophical debate now, before the technology forces our hand. We need to agree on a set of criteria beyond mere imitation of intelligence, like the Turing Test, to determine moral consideration. The ethical goal here is to establish a framework that respects future intelligent non-biological life without sacrificing our fundamental responsibilities to the human community. It's a call for humility, foresight, and a willingness to expand our circle of moral concern. Wrapping up our thought journey. The ethics of AI is not a sidebar. It is the main event. It demands that we move beyond simply asking, "Can we build this?" to the far more important question, "Should we build it? And if so, how do we ensure it reflects our highest human values?" The responsibility for this rests not just with the engineers in Silicon Valley, but with all of us, policymakers, ethicists, educators, and everyday users. Our machines are learning from us, so let's make sure we're teaching them the right lessons. The future isn't arriving, we are building it, one ethical decision at a time. If this deep dive sparked a thought, please consider sharing it. Drop a comment below and tell me which ethical challenge you find most concerning: bias, accountability, or the future of human purpose. Your perspective makes this whole conversation richer. And hey, if you found this exploration valuable,